Hello again. As you can tell by the title, this is part 2 of the dungeon build along, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we'll need to do is print off one of the floor textures and the page with the wall pattern. And I do just want to quickly point out that when doing this, make sure that you're printing them out at 100%. Make sure that you don't have any fit to page option enabled or anything like that. Anyway, next we'll trim off the excess paper, leaving a slight border around the edges. Then we'll take a piece of double corrugated cardboard, though you could use foam core if you prefer, and we're going to glue the floor texture on top of that. So here I am applying some glue to the back of the printout, just using a regular glue stick, and then sticking that into place. There you go. Then we can do the same thing with the wall pattern, and rest something heavy on top so that it dries nice and flat. Okay, then to speed things up, here's one that's already dry, and the first thing we're going to do is cut away all of the excess from around the edges. And when doing this, I find it's best to make several shallow cuts rather than trying to hack my way through in one go. Oh, and it should go without saying, but please do be careful when using a sharp knife. Anyway, for this particular project, we're going to need a small passage, a corner passage, and a 5x6 room. However, we do need to make allowances for the 2.5D wall that'll be going around the outside, shown here in white. So when cutting the tiles, we're actually going to go with something like this. Essentially, an extra half-inch border all the way around. So here I am measuring out the large room first, just marking the halfway point between the grid squares, and then cutting that to size. Now I'll do the same thing for the small passage. It's all pretty straightforward stuff really. And there you go. Then for the corner passage, we'll just need to cut out a 1-inch square from one of the corners. So here I am marking it out, and then cutting it out. And when we're done, this is the kind of thing that we should be left with. Something like that. Now, for the walls, we'll first cut one edge nice and straight. Like so. And then we'll measure out a half-inch wide strip. And cut that to size. There you go. And we'll need to do that several times so that we end up with lots of little wall sections. Right then, now it's time to put it all together. So, what I like to do is square off one of the ends of the wall piece first, and then roughly mark out how long that needs to be, and cut it to size. Then I'll just make any final adjustments, and after that it's just a simple matter of applying some glue to the back of the wall, and to the edge of the tile itself, and gluing it into place. So I'll leave the video running while I do the rest of the tile, and as you'll see, in this example I'll do the outer corner of the passage first, and then the inner corner second. But yeah, as I say, I'll leave this part running so that you can see the entire process. Anyway, if we do the same thing to all 3 pieces, this is what we should end up with. And if you want to pause the video for a second, you can note down the positions of the exits in the main room. And if I just quickly rearrange them, this is going to be the layout of our first encounter. So we have an entrance passage, the main room itself, and an exit passage that disappears around a corner. And that's all we're going to concentrate on for this first part. In the next video we'll add a few bits of scatter terrain, but for now, if you're taking part in this little build along project, then that's all you need to do. So yeah, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.